I was sitting in the lounge, watching TV with my parents when an ad came on for a new app. Hey, that looks really cool! I should download it. I grabbed my phone and searched for the app. Yay, I found it! I clicked on it and waited for it to download. It says here that I can detect anyone's DNA through facial recognition. In a matter of seconds, you can find out if you are related to someone.
Well, that does sound like fun. Imagine you could be standing next to someone in the supermarket and find out they're your long-lost cousin or something.
My phone pinged to let me know it had finished downloading.
Let's test it out.
I pointed my phone at my face and then pointed it at my mom's. Now I just have to click for the results.
DNA match. You are related.
Come on, Dad, it's your turn now. I pointed the phone at my dad's face and then at mine. Then I clicked to see the results. When I read what it said on the screen, my face fell in shock.
Not a match.
But before I go on, make sure you like and subscribe and hit that notification bell so you won't end up tearing your own family apart. My dad was furious.
I knew it. You cheated on me, didn't you?
Of course I didn't.
Well, the facts don't lie. If I don't match with Lara's DNA, then you must have cheated.
Oh, Dad, you can't believe this app. It's only a cheap thing for laughs. It's obviously made a mistake.
It's not just the app, Lara. I've been suspicious about your mom for a long time.
But why?
The year before you were born, your mom was acting really weirdly. She was snooping around and acting all sus. At first, I thought it was just because she was busy and had a lot on her mind. But now, I know it's because she was hiding her guilty secret.
You're crazy. I would never cheat on you. You have to believe me.
I don't believe you. I can't believe you have lied to me for so long.
I'm not lying.
Okay, look, you two. There's one way we can find out for sure. We can just go and get a proper DNA test done at the doctor's.
Yes, do that. And then maybe your dad will know that I'm telling the truth.
The next day, the three of us went to a nearby clinic. We told the receptionist that we wanted to do a DNA test to find out if my dad was really my dad and if my mom was my mom.
Okay, take a seat and the doctor will see you soon.
We sat down in the waiting room, Mom on one side of me and Dad on the other. They had hardly said one word to each other since the argument the night before. I couldn't wait to get the test over and done with so we could go back to normal.
Hello, so you want to do a DNA test, do you?
When I looked up, I was a bit shocked at the doctor's appearance. She looked a bit strange. She had long blonde curly hair and was wearing some weird pointed glasses.
Yes, we would like to see if I am Lara's dad.
And if I'm her mom. Okay, come with me.
The doctor led us to the back of the room and pulled a testing kit out of her bag.
This shouldn't take long. We will have your results in less than 5 minutes.
First, she tested my mom and I.
100% match. You are definitely mother and daughter. Now let's see your results.
When she looked at the test, her face fell.
I'm sorry to tell you that you are not father and daughter.
I knew it! I told you, you're a liar! How could you humiliate me like this?
My mom burst into tears.
I'm telling the truth. I don't understand what's going on here.
I'll tell you what's going on. You've lied to me for too long and I'm not taking it anymore.
But I promise you, I have never cheated on you.
I can't believe that you're still continuing with your lie, even when you've been caught out. The doctor has the proof. I'm not standing around listening to your lies any longer. I want a divorce.
With that, my dad stormed out of the building, got into his car, and drove off. My mom and I just stood there watching as he disappeared into the distance. When I turned to my mom, she was still crying. Mom, please, you can tell me the truth. It's okay if you just made a mistake. I understand these things happen. But please, tell me who my real father is.
Laura, I'm telling you, I didn't cheat. I loved your dad with all of my heart. I would never do anything to hurt him.
But how do you explain the DNA test then? My mom stood there shaking her head.
I honestly don't have an answer for you. I know that it looks like I'm lying, but I'm not. You are our daughter.
Even though everything pointed to the fact that she wasn't telling the truth, I just had to trust her. She seemed so upset and so sincere. What else could I do? When we eventually got home, my dad was nowhere to be seen.
What if he never comes back? What will I do without him?
I put my arms around my mom and gave her a hug as she sobbed into my shoulder. I knew that I had to try to sort it out for her. I'm going to call Dad. I'll ask him to take another test.
Oh, okay.
The phone rang and rang. I thought my dad was never going to answer, but eventually I heard his voice on the other end of the phone.
Yes, Lara, what do you want?
Dad, please, listen to me. I'm sure Mom is telling the truth. Please give her another chance.
I'm sorry, Lara. I can't do that.
But what if the testing kit was faulty or something? Will you at least take another test at another clinic?
Okay, but I'm only doing it for you, Lara.
Thank you, Dad. I ended the call and gave a sigh of relief. Dad has agreed to do another test. We will go to another clinic tomorrow and hopefully everything will be fine. The next day, my mom and I waited outside the new clinic. When my dad arrived, he shot an evil look at my mom. She just put her head down. I felt so sorry for her. She looked visibly distraught. Come on, let's get this over with. We followed my dad into the clinic. This time, we were actually met by the doctor at the door. What is it with doctors these days? This one looked even stranger than the one yesterday. She had a dark brown, asymmetrical bob haircut and was wearing bright red lipstick. Far too glamorous to be a doctor.
Hello, how can I help you?
We would like to do a DNA test, please.
Of course, it won't take 2 minutes.
The doctor tested Mom and then me.
No doubt about it. This is definitely your daughter.
Then she turned to my dad.
Now it's your turn.
It felt like hours until she eventually said the results were ready. When she read them out, I nearly fainted.
No match. I'm sorry. You are not her father.
When my dad heard the results, he started screaming at my mom.
Now what have you got to say for yourself? Don't lie anymore, just admit it. You're a cheat.
I'm not. I didn't cheat on you.
I can't believe you're still denying it. What's wrong with you?
My mom and dad continued arguing, oblivious to all the stares they were getting from other patients in the clinic. I was mortified. I could see them whispering to each other. They were obviously gossiping about my parents. But then, all of a sudden, I noticed something weird. The doctor was peering out from behind a wall and she looked happy. She had a visible smile on her face. Why would she be happy? As soon as she realized I was looking her way, she hastily turned around and disappeared. That is really weird. I was beginning to get really suspicious about the doctor, but I didn't have time to worry about it then. I had to get my parents out of the clinic before they killed each other. Come on, Mom, we'd better go home.
Yes, go, and you'll be hearing from my divorce lawyer any day soon.
My dad left and Mom and I went home. I made my mom a cup of tea and told her to go and put her feet up in the lounge. I was still really suspicious about the doctor, so I decided I would go and do some investigating of my own. I didn't want my mom to know what I was planning, though, so I made up an excuse to her. I've just got to go run an errand, Mom. I won't be long.
Okay, Lara.
I went straight to the clinic and told the receptionist that I wanted to see the doctor. But when I gave him the doctor's name, he gave me a puzzled look.
I'm sorry, but we don't have any doctor here by that name.
What? But we just saw her here today. Are you sure?
I'm 100% certain. I know every doctor that works in this clinic. We definitely don't have anyone by that name.
I was beginning to get a bit freaked out. What on earth is going on here? I decided I would go back and see the doctor that we had seen at the first clinic. Maybe she could give me some answers. But you will never believe what happened when I got there. They had no idea who she was either. But we saw her here the other day. You must know her.
I'm sorry, maybe you got the wrong name.
No, that was definitely her name.
Well, we don't have anyone working here by that name.
Who is this mystery doctor? I walked out to the clinic and onto the street outside. Suddenly, a woman with long black hair pushed past me and walked briskly down the street. At first, I thought nothing of it, but then I looked again. I could see a blonde wig sticking out of the woman's bag. Wait a minute, could that be? I ran down the street after the woman, calling out as I went. Excuse me, miss? When the woman heard me calling, she turned around to see who it was. As soon as she set eyes on me, she started running. But with the heels she was wearing, there was no way she could outrun me. I caught up to her and stopped her in her tracks. What is going on? Did you wear that wig the other day and perform a DNA test on me?
Get off of me! You're crazy!
Tell me the truth.
What are you talking about? I've never seen you before.
Yes, you have. You saw me today too, didn't you? Only you had short brown hair today.
Did you just escape from a lunatic asylum or something?
Just tell me what's going on. But instead, she took off her shoes and ran off down the street. I tried to catch her, but just as I was getting near to her, she jumped on a bus and rode off down the street. I stood there panting, watching as the bus disappeared into the distance. When I got home, I told my mom everything that had happened. There is definitely something weird going on here, Mom, and somehow that doctor knows something about it. I'm sure of it.
Well, it definitely does sound a bit strange. What did the woman look like?
I tried to describe her to my mom, but it was all a bit vague. Wait a minute, I remember seeing a CCTV camera on the side of the building. Maybe we can get an image of her from it.
That's a great idea. Let's go now and find out.
My mom and I went straight back out. When we got to the building, the owner of the shop was really helpful. He took us into his office at the back of the shop and showed us the video recordings.
You're welcome to search through that. Hopefully you'll find what you're looking for.
My mom and I began to watch through the recording. Eventually, it came to around the time when I had left the second clinic. Suddenly, a woman appeared on the screen. She was running. Stop! That's her! My mom pressed the pause button and we zoomed in on her face.
Oh my god!
I turned to look at my mom. Her face was white as a sheet. Mom, what is it? What's the matter?
I know who she is.
Who?
That's your dad's ex-girlfriend.
What? I turned to look at the photo of the woman again. This can't be a coincidence. She has to have known who I was. The man gave us a copy of the still photo to take with us.
Hope you found what you were looking for.
Thank you. Yes, we did. I called my dad and asked him to come over. We have something to show you. At first he wasn't going to come, but finally I managed to convince him. As soon as he saw the photo, he started shaking his head.
Oh my god, you're right. That's Bella.
She must have faked the DNA tests, Dad.
I always knew she was mad at me for dumping her, and she was jealous when your mom and I started dating. But that was so long ago. I never thought she'd do something like this.
My mom turned to my dad.
I want to get another test done, but this time, we will go to a hospital to be on the safe side.
When the doctor came out to take the test, I was very happy to see that he was male. Unless Bella had a very, very convincing disguise, this doctor was not my dad's ex-girlfriend. I was so nervous as we waited for the results, but I had no need to be.
There is no doubt about it. You are definitely this young lady's father.
Are you sure?
Absolutely certain.
I looked at my dad in relief. He had the biggest beam on his face, but my mom was definitely the happiest one of us because she heard the results. My dad put his arm around her.
I'm sorry, darling. I should have known you were telling the truth. Can you forgive me?
Of course I forgive you. I love you.
Everything was going to be okay. And the moral of the story, don't believe everything you see. Believe everything you see. Believe